All right. Welcome to the Evil TeddyBear podcast, the podcast where we try to review movies. I don't know. Um, today today we have a special guest. Usually the podcast is mostly a sausage fest, mostly, but now we brought a girl into the mix. Why don't you introduce yourself there, madam?
Hi, I'm Cassie. I have no sausage, but I'm happy to be here. um, I'm a freelance writer. Most of my time is currently spent on a book blog called Bibliomantics that I run with 3 other girlfriends. That is taking up 95% of my time.
Wow. Well, where are you originally from?
I'm a Jersey girl.
So Kevin Smith made that movie about you.
No.
No.
I don't want to have anything to do with that.
Really? You didn't like Jersey Girl?
Nope.
Well.
Nope. That was his one giant mistake, was that movie.
Most people would say Cop Out. Actually, he would say Cop Out.
As far as his Jersey movies go, I would say Jersey Girl.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing the whole writing thing? Like, what kicked it off for you? Saying, like, here, I want to do this.
Actually, about a year and a half ago, my other friend, Cassie, said she wanted to start a book blog. And so, since I was the only one with any computer skills, I set up the WordPress and ended up just taking over everything and writing all the time. It kind of became a monster that got away from me.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm not good with I'm good with certain things when it comes to computers, but, like, setting up WordPress, for me, is just, like, I really don't want to do this. I wish somebody else would do it for me.
It wasn't bad. I mean, I know rudimentary Photoshop, and I had set up a WordPress before, and they basically do everything for you. You just kind of have to pick and choose and make it look good based on what you want.
Yeah. Okay, so how long have you... Well, first of all, let me ask you this. What point in your life did you figure out that you're a little bit nerdy?
I guess I've always been a weirdo, but that's me. I guess in high school, I started writing fan fiction and dressing up and, starting a gaming club, to play Lord of the Rings Trivial Pursuit, during lunch. I think that was the point, surrounded in a room with dudes making chainmail and answering questions about, like, Sauron and stuff. I think that was the real kicker for me. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a nerd. That was the point.
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing. Like, it's amazing to me. Like, usually I never see, don't get me wrong, no, don't take this the wrong way, but I never see girls as hot as you into nerdy crap at all.
I'm already offended.
Oh, damn it. Oh, well. 5 minutes in. But I mean, it's not weird at all. It's like something like a new door opening. I'm like, wait a minute. And I really didn't discover that until I went to like my first kind of con or whatever, and that was like a year or two ago for me. And
in high school, I was like that girl who boys didn't like, and I didn't have many friends, so I think it was a little different back then. Now it's more accepting, and you go to conventions and there are hot girls everywhere dressed up in cosplay.
Yeah, I think most of those guys go to conventions just for that, pretty much.
That's your sole purpose?
Well, no.
That's an added bonus.
That's an added bonus. I don't know. I went to, down here, they have Atlanta Anime Weekend or whatever, or AWA, as they call it here. I went to that. I actually worked that one, which was kind of weird because they had me, just do the video rooms, play the videos, but they also had me checking IDs for the hentai, Saturday night hentai thing, which was really weird. which is,
Tentacle rape?
oh my god, the whole thing. Like, you look in there right when they started, and they told everybody hand check. Everybody, yes.
Oh gosh.
I was like, oh gosh. And then so since I was standing out there, every once in a while I'd peek in, I'd be like, wow, people are really watching this in public. That's.
Did they do like hand checks throughout the viewing experience?
I think
just in the beginning.
I think just at the beginning. I don't know. But I mean, it was basically like me being a bouncer at a club. I had to wait till people started coming in and for them to tell me to start letting people come in.
Oh, only at an anime convention.
Yeah, only. But like, I had never been to Dragon Con either, so I kind of went this year and didn't really have any tickets or anything. Me and my friends just went down there to hang out because that's what mostly everybody was doing down there anyway. But sorry. It was an interesting experience, I want to say.
I heard Dragon Con's that one's big on cosplay, right?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of people dressed up. I saw a fat He-Man. Someone that was brave enough, and I commend that guy for being a big guy out there with that much clothes on.
It's all about the fantasy. You can be anybody.
Pretty much. I've never really gotten to cosplay, though. I've never really dressed up.
You should try it. It's like Halloween, but whenever you feel like it.
Also, people give me candy anytime I want.
I don't know if you want to accept candy from people at conventions. I really wouldn't recommend that. Like, strange people handing you candy.
True.
Like, I have had that happen before, but I've never eaten it.
Ooh. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Especially, there's a bunch of people who are just mouth breathers there who may have colds or something, which...
Yeah, you'll get that convention flu.
Which is weird. Okay, so you are I want to say this, you're a Harry Potter fan, aren't you?
Yes, I'm a giant Harry Potter fan.
Right, cause...
Dark mark tattoo?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm waiting, I saw that on your, some of your pictures on Facebook or whatever, and I'm waiting for the thing to start moving on your picture so it'll be like, damn, the Voldemort's still alive.
I have had people come up to me and, touch it, trying to summon Lord Voldemort, but it's never worked. And at LeakyCon 2011, which is the biggest Harry Potter convention, I met a Hufflepuff with a dark mark, and he asked me if mine ever burned because apparently his bothers him sometimes at night, which concerned me a little bit.
Was he smoking something?
He seemed completely fine, besides the fact that he was a Hufflepuff with a dark mark, but...
Oh, wow. Yeah, you wouldn't think of Hufflepuff being a part of the Dark Lord's army at all.
No, I don't think they'd be allowed in, Hufflepuffs.
Yeah, I feel like Hufflepuff just kind of got pushed aside. Like, they're the hippos of the group.
They're just kind of there. I feel bad for them.
I don't know, but you're on Pottermore, so am I, and you're a Slytherin.
Yes, I was so excited. That was the most nerve-wracking day of my life, was getting sorted, because I really wanted to be in Slytherin. I always identified with Slytherin, and I was so glad they sorted me there. I think I would have quit if they had put me anywhere else.
It was like, I don't want to be with that Harry Potter guy. He's a douchebag.
No, I would have been fine with Ravenclaw. Ravenclaw or Slytherin, but other than that, I would have had to be out.
Yeah. I am a Ravenclaw on there, and when I tweeted, I think when I first tweeted that I was going to try Pottermore or whatever, you actually hit me back on Twitter, which I was like, and I think you told me to, I want to say that you told me to tweet you back what I was. I don't know, I just remember being really bored that day. I was working a basketball tournament, and they had me at the front desk dealing with a bunch of just really negative parents.
You are on my friends list, but you don't have as many house points as me.
No, because I'm barely on there now.
I know. They just released a bunch of new chapters. That's really the only time I go on, because otherwise, what are you going to do? It's not interactive. I've made some potions.
Yeah, I tried to make some potions on there myself, and I always screw them up, so at some point or another, just like real life, just like I did in science class in real life, I've always screwed up some kind of chemistry. whether it's a potion or a girl.
At least your professor isn't Snape, though, so you're good.
I don't know. I think I might like that, though. I might like him as a potions master. Just not for him to teach me, just to hear him talk.
Okay. I was gonna say, if you're that awful, he's gonna be belittling you all the time.
No.
Yes.
No, I can't. I couldn't handle that one. I couldn't handle him bitching at me the whole time.
Gonna be all Neville Longbottom yelling at you. That would be awful.
Yeah. Somehow Neville just became very awesome in that last film.
I'm not a fan of the films, but Neville did get hot. I will say that. Go Team Neville. I would have read Neville Longbottom and the Sorcerer's Stone, although it would have ended with that book because he would have died in it, but, you know, it might have been fun.
It's just him sitting in a corner, pissing and shitting himself the whole time.
And then he gets murdered. That's the end of the Neville Longbottom book series.
Yeah, definitely. I really haven't read the books. I've listened to the audio, the Jim Dale audiobooks, though.
Okay.
Which, you know, still counts because they're all unbridged. And the reason why I didn't read the books, because usually I like to sit down and being able to do something, but sitting down and reading kind of makes me feel like I'm just sitting still, and I'm kind of iffy a bit about that.
Read on a treadmill.
Yeah, but then I gotta focus on exercising in the headphones and blah blah blah. So I'm gonna ask you some real Harry Potter questions. I want to see how good you are.
Oh gosh, okay.
Yeah. And these are just like what if kind of questions or something like that.
Are they hypothetical?
Yeah, hypothetical. Unless you want them to be real. So. Alright, okay, we already answered this question. If you went to Hogwarts, which house you would be? Slytherin.
Yes.
Have you ever been to a midnight release for Harry Potter?
Yes, I was the oldest person there because it was like my sophomore year of college, and they locked me outside because I went to have a cigarette because I smoked at the time, and I was stuck out there with all the little like 8-year-olds and their parents waiting to get the last book.
Wow. What, in your opinion, did you think of the Deathly Hallows, the book?
The book? I really liked it. It wasn't my favorite book because they spent the whole time camping, which wasn't my favorite. I kind of missed Hogwarts, but, I mean, as far as books go, I don't think it was the worst one. I would say Order of the Phoenix was my least favorite, but it wasn't my ultimate favorite either. I put it in the middle. It was in the middle ground.
Yeah, for me, both movie-wise and book-wise was The Woods, definitely.
Yeah, and I didn't like the epilogue. I could have done without that epilogue. I think it was horrible, and it was just as bad in the movies.
Yeah, it kind of looked like they were just kind of dressed up like their parents a little bit, and
they just put him in like oversized clothes and was like, "You're old now.
Yeah.
Deal with it."
If anything, they could have had some other actors play them when they're older anyway. Plus, I would have liked to see, like, a day in their life a little bit when they're older.
Oh. I think they should have chopped off, like, there. Get rid of the Elder Wand, end of movie. Everyone lives happily ever after.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure someone's probably done it already. I started looking into fan edit films.
Okay.
Where they
those.
Yeah, where they take the like movies like let's say Jay and Silent Bob or like Star Wars or the Avengers and they put them together or cut them down and take like all the crap that they don't like and put all like the deleted scenes that they thought might be good in the film. I thought that was actually pretty good. I watched Jay and Bob, and I was in the middle of watching Pearl Harbor.
Simultaneously?
Well, I mean, I watched the Jay and Bob the other day, and I just got the Pearl Harbor earlier this morning, and it takes out all the romance and stuff. It makes it more of an action film, if anything.
It sounds good. I never saw Pearl Harbor.
It's okay if you want to sit down for about a good 3 hours and watch some people get bombed.
I think I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Whose death made you the saddest in the books?
It was kind of really sad when Hedwig died.
Oh God, yeah, that was heartbreaking.
But I guess I would have to say, I don't want to mess this up. I don't remember which twin it was, because I'm awful. Was it Fred or George?
It was Fred, but don't worry, every twin is like that. Everybody's like that. It was
Fred. I think Fred broke me up the most. Like, I didn't even cry when Dumbledore died, because I'm a horrible person, but I cried when Fred died. That was awful.
Yeah, that I kind of did that. I did that for a little bit of everybody. I did that for Sirius, because I was like...
Snape!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he got pretty...
And Sirius. Sirius too. So Sirius, Snape, and Fred were my top 3.
Yeah. Those are some pretty awful deaths. Fred, it's like with Fred, it's kind of like half of George is just gone.
Yep, that's going to be an awful life for that poor boy.
I know. I would have liked to see that elaborated more.
Right, and also, they totally, like, glossed over Tonks and Remus's kid. Like, you think they would be best buds, because this kid is also an orphan, and Harry's raising him. But they're like, no, that's not important. Let's talk about Albus Severus, who is the worst literary named character in all of history.
True. They did that big time in the movie, too. They cut him out altogether. They mention him, and then in the second part, Deathly Hallows Part 2, they're like, Harry was like, what about their son or whatever?
Teddy?
What about
something stupid like that?
Yeah.
Baby Remus.
Uh-oh, my little brother's trying to hit me up on freaking Facebook. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll cut that out. Maybe.
No, leave it in. It's better.
Yeah, I've never really, like, I've cut some things out when it comes to, like, long periods or something in a podcast, but, like, when it comes to, like, just the conversation keep going and going, I've never cut anything out like that. I've always tried to keep it in, because I like the natural of it.
All natural?
Yeah, a little bit. Okay. I think I'm gonna ask this one more. Just pick one more of these questions.
Okay.
It's really hard to pick one because they're all so good. If you went to Hogwarts, owl, cat, rat, or toad?
Owl.
Why owl?
They're multi-purpose. They can deliver messages for you. And where else can you have a pet owl? I could have a pet cat or a pet toad right now. Yeah. I can't have a pet owl right now.
That's true. I mean, the owls were kind of like the iPhones of that world, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were like the cool ones, and the frogs were for like poor nerdy people like Neville. Like, what are you gonna do with a frog? What does that frog do for you?
I don't know. Maybe he just like feed. Maybe it's a toad that he just licks, so he can just be like, man, you know what? Instead of like becoming the emo kid where he just cuts himself, he becomes the kid that just like, oh god, I need this because...
Are you suggesting that Neville became cool because he was licking toads later on in the series? Okay. Yes. That's now personal headcanon.
I don't know. Maybe the whole series, maybe it wasn't really magic. Maybe the whole series is really through Neville's eyes and the toad.
He's hallucinating everything, and he's created an alter ego named Harry Potter to deal with his life. I like that.
Yes.
That's really out there.
Oh, okay. One more. Favorite Death Eater?
Favorite Death Eater?
Yes.
Probably Lucius Malfoy. Even though he's a giant pansy. I just like the Malfoys.
Yeah. What's up with their hair? That's what I kind of want to know. Do they like... I think they spend more time on their hair, if anything.
I don't know, but there's this amazing cosplay couple who were at some of the Leaky Cons, and they just cosplay Lucius and Draco most of the time, so much to the point that one of them changed their name to Draco, and they're kind of amazing.
Wow.
And they're in character all the time.
Oh, wow.
Like, they sneer about muggles.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That was another thing. It's kind of like the whole muggles and... you know, all that kind of... I'm waiting for that whole civil rights thing to happen a little bit there in the Harry Potter world. Just a little bit.
Whole nother book series, I'm sure.
Pretty
Not that
much.
she's doing that anymore.
No, I haven't read her new book at all. I just haven't really been interested at all.
No, I'm not interested in small town politics that don't have anything to do with wizards.
Speaking of other wizards, you actually told me about, a little bit about, Saturday was Hobbit Day.
Hobbit Day, yes.
How did that happen? Where did that come from? Do you know?
Okay, so the American Tolkien Society, because Frodo and Bilbo's birthday is both September 22nd, so they decided that the week of September 22nd is Tolkien Week, and then that 22nd is Hobbit Day, in celebration of Bilbo and Frodo's birthdays. I think that started happening in the 70s.
Wow.
So since the 70s, it's been Hobbit Day.
It's a long time for a holiday that I never heard of. It was the first time I heard of it last week. Just like
really?
Yes, just like it was the first time I heard about that Gangnam Style guy or whatever.
You just heard about him?
I heard about him through SNL. I was watching SNL and I hadn't watched Saturday Night Live in like a really long time.
No, it's awful.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? Seth MacFarlane's gonna be on here. Maybe he'll bring something to it. And the whole skit was basically him, Kenan Thompson, and some other guy at the lid store that are usually like at the malls, like with the hats.
Okay, the hat store.
Yeah, and Kenan Thompson was like, "Oh man, I'm sad and guys and blah blah blah." And Seth MacFarlane was like, "You know what I do when I feel sad? I press this red button." And then one of the guys from SNL dressed like him or whatever, dressed like the what's his name, Psy, came out doing a dance, and he did a good job. Did a good job with the dance. I know it had to definitely be just like a throw-in skit.
Mm-hmm.
But I could probably watch that one over again just to see people dance.
They also have Gandalf Style on YouTube, which is a parody of that with Gandalf.
Oh, I've got to watch that one. I saw the one someone did with Deadpool for
yes.
I think it was Dragon Con, I want to say.
And there's a really good My Little Pony one too. But I just love My Little Pony, so I'll probably be the only one that enjoys that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I saw that. It was kind of a loop, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like they added their own pony into like pre-existing scenes with the music.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty. I thought it was pretty cute, pretty kind of funny. I'm not a really big My Little Pony guy though. Like I know there's guys out there that are into it.
They're scary.
And they're called bronies.
Have you ever seen them?
No, I don't think I've ever met one. And if any of my friends are one, then I wouldn't know about it.
I was at a Toys R Us trying to get a Pinkie Pie figurine. Pinkie Pie's my favorite. She defies all the laws of physics.
Wow.
But there was like 8 dudes comparing SKU numbers to try to get the mystery all the blind ponies, and they wouldn't move out of my way. And then when they were leaving, their leader, who was covered in ponies, was like, "Come on, every pony!" And they left. And it was amazing. And frightening all at the same time.
Wow. Last time I was that scared, I was at MomoCon down here.
Momo?
It's called MomoCon.
Like from Momo from Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I don't think so. It's something different. I think it was before Avatar: The Last Airbender. But it's another anime convention, and it was free for years, but recently they started being like, "Hey, you gotta buy tickets now."
Fun.
Yeah. But I went there one year, and it's just I started seeing some guys dressed as Sailor Moon and stuff. I'm like, that ruins the character for me a little bit.
What if there was a gender swap episode?
Oh God, that would ruin it for me too. But then I'd be asking all sorts of different questions, like, did it grow? Does she get boners? No.
Best not to think about it.
I mean, I enter that state of mind for some reason when it comes to stuff like that. I have a real sick sense of humor. It was
And
like,
it all goes to penises.
well, sometimes. No. Other times it goes to like I tweeted something like somebody in one of the groups I'm in on Facebook put up a picture of Bucky fighting somebody from Captain America.
Okay.
And it just took me back to that scene from the Captain America First Avenger movie where Bucky just falls. And so I just put under the thing, Bucky, no! And then it just kind of goes off trailing. And it says, oh God, look at him bounce. I didn't think he could bounce like that.
Oh gosh.
I know. But he's coming back, so I mean, he's not dead. He's coming back.
Does anyone really die in comics?
If it's the Marvel Ultimate Universe, then yes.
Okay, that's it?
Yeah.
We know Jean Grey's never gonna die.
Oh God, is she still the Phoenix, or did they
Last
reboot
I
that?
heard, yes.
Okay. Because, Tenacious D made an album about her, then...
Really?
No. But they did make an album called
You got
Rise
me
of
really
Phoenix.
excited.
They did make an album called Rise of the Phoenix, though, which is actually pretty good.
Them to get Jean Grey and Wolverine together. Officially.
Yeah.
Happen, stupid Cyclops.
Yeah, that was the other thing. That was the thing that kind of interests me. I know as a kid a little bit, watching the X-Men TV show that came on Fox Kids.
Uh-huh.
That interests me a little bit. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, how can I know Wolverine and Cyclops like this one girl, but she needs to choose somebody. The original Twilight thing, a little bit there. No. Let me go back. The original Buffy, Angel, and Spike scenario.
Okay.
There you go. I shouldn't say Twilight because...
I was watching Buffy before we started.
Which one? Which episode?
It's on Chiller. It's in season 7, so there's all these annoying potentials around that I don't like.
Yeah, you should, I know Felicia Day did that season.
Yeah, she was in the background. It was the one where they go through a portal and Buffy talks to the people who created the first Slayer, and it's okay. I'm not a fan of season 7 that much.
Yeah, not many people are. I did like the beginning of season 7 because you get to see Spike get all crazy and shit.
I just like Andrew is like the only redeeming quality of season 7, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just in Cabin... I just saw him in Cabin in the Woods. So that was extra exciting for me. He played the intern.
Wow. I just got that movie, and I still haven't watched it, and I'm trying... I might end up burning a copy for my friend or just taking it over there. I'm not sure. So we can review it for this show. I'm not sure yet, though.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, we did like the Dark Knight Rises. We did the Hunger Game. You do not want to know what my solution for that one is.
What is it? I want to know.
No, because then you'd be like, this podcast is over. I don't know. I was like, those kids are dying, and they're all in high school, kind of. Just let the other little kids go out into the woods and let them experience something that's magical.
That defeats the entire purpose of the Hunger Games.
Well, they'll have a few hours left to live then, I mean, they can't... What are they going to do? They're going to... well, I guess they could. They could, because they got those little chips in their hands. Damn! Now I got to think of a new plan. I don't know, but I watched the Hunger Games, and after that I watched the 2 Battle Royale movies.
Okay.
I had never seen them.
No?
Until they were on Netflix.
The second one is a complete fabrication. First one is kind of close to the book. But I think the book's more violent. Yeah. It's also 600 pages or so.
And then I'm like, who's forcing these fucking teachers to let their students die? What parent is okay with this, basically? That's what I want to know.
That was the problem. Like, Hunger Games, at least they had a point for killing each other. Like, Battle Royale, they never, in the books at least, they never explained why. It was just kind of something that happened, and they told everyone about it afterward.
Yeah, a little bit. They also, I know the Hunger Games, I think they kind of did what J.K. did with Pottermore a little bit, minus the whole chapter thing. Mm-hmm. But, you can go online and register yourself to be part of a district now.
What? That sounds so much... So wrong.
A little bit. But so out of curiosity, I went to go register.
Uh-huh.
And since I'm part of District 12.
Did they base it on, like, your social standing? How did they pick a district for you?
I think they base it based on the questions, and then they base it, like, on where you live.
Oh. Oh, okay. What part of North America?
Yeah.
Huh.
And since I've always been on the East Coast, I've either always been in Georgia or New York half the time, so... Like, I'm originally from New York. So,
Uh-huh.
And so, I mean, I guess that would be like I guess they split up the districts that way, don't they? Or no?
I'm assuming. I thought they went from, like, north to south. But I guess they could go west to east. I never really thought about it.
Me either. I don't know. I mean, I guess I feel like if you tie those two movies together, it'd be like you look down all the lists of everybody, all the countries that are doing Battle Royale, and you never see America. You think America just cuts itself off to do its own little thing or something like that.
It's busy with the Hunger Games.
Yeah. I don't know.
Over.
Hunger Battle Royale. I don't know. With cheese. I don't know. I just remember that. And I remember a lot of people being pissed off that, like, I've never read the book, but I've heard some of the descriptions of the characters, that the little girl in the book is supposed to be like a dark-skinned little girl or something, but
yeah,
she's black in the movie, and a lot of people got pissed off about that. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, what's the difference, people?
It was really weird, because there were a lot of black characters and dark-skinned characters in the book, and I guess no one read context clues, so they just assumed in their brains that everyone was white, and then when they saw the movie, they got really angry for some reason. Like, Suzanne Collins specifically says, not everyone is white in her book series, like, it's all there, and, they just gleaned over that, I guess. And then we're all butthurt about it on the internet.
I know. I mean, I'm just like, I don't want to look at my Twitter feed and see you bitching about a little girl. Bitch about something else.
Obviously, it ruined their enjoyment of the movie.
I know.
That little girl was amazing. So.
All right. So, what other movies have you seen this year that you liked?
Oh, man. I don't like a lot of movies. Let me think. I liked Cabin in the Woods. I actually didn't think Men in Black 3 was that awful.
Yeah, I kind of I liked that. I liked it because of the nostalgic of it.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can think of more movies I didn't like. Hunger Games. I liked the Hunger Games. I guess that was my top 3. And The Grey was kind of good.
I still haven't seen that yet. I think it's on Netflix now, but I still haven't seen that yet.
It's depressing.
Yeah.
It's not a happy, uplifting, cheerful movie.
Oh, and I thought they would pet the wolves.
They all become best friends, just like Call of the Wild.
Yeah.
But with Liam Neeson.
Let's see. For me, it had to be... Like, I had 4 movies set in mind, basically, for the whole summer anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The Avengers, Dark Knight Rises, The Amazing Spider-Man, and Ted.
I only saw The Avengers.
Oh, you didn't see Dark Knight? Well,
no.
Are you a Batman fan, or is...
Yes. The problem is I just don't have, like, in my budget, I'm not a budget for movies type of person. I'm like, well, I'd rather get a book. So I usually wait till stuff is out on Netflix. And then by the time it's out, everyone's already hyped it up and I've probably forgotten about it.
Yeah. It took, I did an episode last night of a different podcast, called BUI Podcast. And the guy talked about, he's not like a big nerd or anything, but he finally got into the whole Batman movies. He just watched Batman Begins, basically.
Oh, wow.
And The Dark Knight. And those been out for years now.
Yeah, I'm not that bad. I've seen those too.
But, yeah, and so every time I would kind of just say like something nerd talk or whatever, he'd be like, huh. And I'd be like, wait, I gotta simple it out for you.
You speak in normal person tones.
Yeah. I'm like, we're not normal. Run. Nah.
I'm being normal.
I know. I mean, normal's overrated. So, okay, real quick, I'm going to ask you these Lord of the Rings questions I just pulled up too.
Okay.
Because I want to know this for some reason.
High school me is so excited right now.
Awesome. Let's go back in time in like a TARDIS or a DeLorean.
Okay, I'm gonna put on like 10 pounds and I'm gonna dye my hair blonde.
I don't know, I can see you as a blonde.
I'm a natural blonde.
Really?
Yes.
You used to sing the red hair on Facebook and Twitter.
I know. I haven't had blonde hair since my senior year in like 2005, so I don't even remember what I look like blonde.
Yeah. Let's see. Movie or book? Books.
I'm gonna have to go movie, just because I love the books, but they take a long time, and they're not as exciting.
True.
Sorry, Tolkien.
Okay. Which character do you feel you connect the most with? And this is out of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
Connect the most with?
Yes.
Probably Pippin. I just like Pippin. I'm short like Pippin. We're both really tiny. And we want to go adventuring and do fun things, but we're not very good at it.
Yeah, Pippin was kind of like the party guy of the Hobbit group, wasn't he?
Yeah, I'd be Pippin.
He's like, let's get fucked up and drink these pints of stuff.
Let's go have fun, even if I might die, because I'm not very awesome at anything, but that's okay. We can still have fun before we die.
Yeah. Orcs or Urukai. I'm not sure if I said that right.
That was right.
Okay.
What's the question?
Orcs or Urukai?
Which do I prefer?
Yeah.
I guess Urukai, because they're more badass.
A little bit. I did like that final fight towards the end of the Fellowship of the Rings, where it was just Aragorn and the Urukai. Yeah. Let's see. I already asked that. Anything? Okay. What didn't you like about the movies or books?
The movies, I know it's important to have women in a movie, but I did not like all the extra Arwen stuff, and I did not like that they killed Haldir. Haldir does not die, ever. I'm still angry about them killing Haldir. And Arwen was supposed to show up at Helm's Deep in the movie, and they ended up cutting that, thankfully. But if you pause it in the right spots, you can still see Arwen at Helm's Deep. Also not supposed to be there.
Wow.
And all the Galadriel. I don't like all the Galadriel either.
She was kind of like all hippie a little bit there.
Let's add all this stuff in to please everyone, but it doesn't need to be there. It has no purpose. Galadriel's in all the Hobbit movies now for no reason, and so is Legolas. So they can make it 3 movies. No.
Okay. Rivendell or Lothlorien?
I'm gonna say Lothlorien just because it's really pretty, and I'd like to live in a tree house for my entire life.
Awesome.
Like, to have an excuse to live in a tree house is kind of awesome.
When you get married, have your boyfriend, or I guess at the time, after you get married, be husband, build your tree house. Be like, we're living out here now.
This is our new home. We're gonna live in this tree house like the elves.
Awesome. Okay, how about to get racy on you? Fuck, kill, or marry. Pick 3 characters.
Well, you gotta fuck Aragorn. You would kill... Kill Legolas, because he's kind of useless. He just points things out. And you would marry Faramir. So he's gonna be king. And he's awesome. Sorry, Eowyn.
What is up with the whole thing with Aragorn? I know I've noticed this over the years. Girls love the hell out of Viggo Mortensen. I can't say his last name. Damn.
Mortensen.
Thank you. And Robert Downey Jr.
Well, Viggo Mortensen is very big in Denmark. And he's just ruggedly handsome. And I think Robert Downey Jr. is just that drunken asshole type that girls seem to love. That bad boy. But he is really short, I heard.
Yeah, he must. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I read that he wears like platforms, little platform shoes to be taller.
Okay, out of those 3 movies that are out, which one did you think was your least favorite?
I guess least favorite would probably be Fellowship. I never rewatched Fellowship. It's just lots of lead up and talking and walking, and I feel like there's more action in the second and third movies.
Yeah. Okay, last Lord of the Rings question. Which scene? I'm about to say scene. Which scene scares you the most out of those movies?
None of them.
Okay.
It's very scary.
You sure? I mean, the whole thing.
Shelob, I guess, was pretty scary.
Yeah, but that was a good Sam moment.
You know, but I don't like spiders, and it was like drooling everywhere.
Okay, so for your birthday, I will not get you a spider.
Please don't. I would. Well, see, I don't kill spiders like normal person. I usually just really far away spray them with like bleach or Windex or something till they drown and die because I don't want to touch them. And then I'll leave their bodies behind for other people to deal with.
Wow.
So that's what I'm going to do with your present if you send me a spider.
But what if I said this spider gives you Spider-Man powers?
But it has to touch me, right?
Yeah, it does. So, you would say no.
If I was looking the other way, I'd take it.
Take it. Oh, yeah. Okay, favorite superhero?
Dark Phoenix. She's not a superhero, but that's okay.
I mean, still, it's okay. Favorite superhero villain, comic book world?
Dark Phoenix. She devours planets. I don't care that she keeps dying and coming back. She's really awesome.
Do you think
she has red hair?
Yeah. Red hair is cool.
Powerful.
Yeah. I have to still say for me, whether it's like the Ultimate Universe or like the regular universe, it would have to be Spider-Man. Because that was my first comic. That was my first comic book character right there. Ever. When I was 6 o'clock. I was not 6 o'clock. Why do I keep talking like this for some reason? I have
You're having a stroke, are you?
A little bit. It was my first character ever when I was like 6. Like 6 o'clock again.
When you were 6 o'clock years old.
Yes.
Loved Spider-Man.
And it was because I don't remember the issue, but I remember there being a panel of Robbie from the Spider-Man, the black guy, finding his wife kind of like in an aftermath of Carnage, basically. Like Carnage had, I guess, kidnapped her or something like that, and he just found her basically laying on the floor bleeding or something and it was just really dark. That's probably why I have a dark sense of humor, too, at this point.
I was going to say, that was your favorite part. That woman lying in a pool of her own blood.
I'm like, whoa, I've never seen this on a TV show. But I would have to say, animated-wise, my favorite animated superhero would have to be Batman.
Batman's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. Me and my friends actually, about a week or two ago, my friend Leo has the whole series on DVD. So we ended up just watching that whole thing, basically just doing a whole big commentary on it without recording it at all. It would have been a very good commentary, too.
Did you hate all the episodes with Superman?
No. I mean, I
hate when Superman shows up and is all goody-goody.
I can kind of see what they kind of did with Superman because, I mean, you can't really do, like, he's always going to be the goody-goody guy, you know? But, like...
Except in Red Sun.
Oh, yeah. You
didn't like that?
I've heard some things, but I didn't really, like... I haven't read it yet. It's on my list. There's a lot of things on my list.
That one's good.
Like,
it's the only Superman I like.
Yeah. I think my favorite comic book or graphic novel now would have to be The Killing Joke.
That's a good one. And depressing.
I hear Doggy in the background. What's going on?
Yeah, that's my boxcar. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Shh. Be quiet.
It's fine. I used to have a dog myself.
He's a brat.
It's like, I want the attention.
Exactly, that's what's happening.
Okay, so you're a big book girl.
Yes.
What are some of your favorite books to read?
Alice in Wonderland is my #1 favorite series in the entire world. So I will always read Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, but I prefer Through the Looking Glass. Jeffrey Eugenides' Virgin Suicides is amazing. And then there's this awesome book called Geek Love, and it's about a circus family, and one of them is Arturo the Flipper Boy, and he starts an amputation cult and convinces people to amputate their limbs. Jesus that Christ. Is a really good book.
That sounds like a dark-ass book, too.
It's amazing, though.
Wow. Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually sat down and read something that wasn't like a screenplay or anything, you know?
Or a comic book.
Or a comic book. Like, I've read, I reread Pulp Fiction from cover to cover.
The screenplay.
Yeah, screenplay.
I was like, when did they make Pulp Fiction novelization?
Well, can you imagine how that would go?
It wouldn't work out very well, I don't think.
No, and plus, I'd probably end up just reading the Bruce Willis part anyway.
Just skip ahead.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Sam Jackson in the movie's awesome, so is John Travolta. But I think I like that middle story a lot better than the other ones.
I'm sorry, I just haven't heard anyone say, I like John Travolta in that movie in a very long time.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, this is before John Travolta was, you know, hey, let me get a back rub and you jerk me off.
Before Battlefield Earth.
Oh, God, don't get me started.
I'm sorry.
It's
Forget
like,
I mentioned Battlefield Earth.
It's like one of those movies where he's trying way too hard. You know? It's definitely one of those movies that, I don't know, have you ever heard of riff tracks before?
Yes. I love the MST3K guys. They're awesome.
Yeah, they are awesome. But I grew up with that show. Believe me. I like every day from until the show was off, I used to watch that show or whatever, even at night. But they do a riff tracks of it. And I think I want to say it's Mike and... It might just be Mike, but I think it's Mike and Kevin who are doing the riffing in it.
Okay.
I want to say, but it's let's not get me started on that again.
See, the problem is then you have to watch Battlefield Earth to enjoy the riff tracks. Is the problem? Yeah,
a little bit. It's kind of a conflict kind of thing. But see, they also riff other stuff too. I don't have you seen any of their riffs before?
I've seen some of their Lord of the Rings ones and that awful Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Don't get
M. Night Shyamalan, blah 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 one, and Twilight.
Yeah, I've pretty much watched most of their library when it comes to Hollywood movies on that one. I've watched all the Lord of the Rings. I've watched the Twilight ones or whatever. I've watched the They have Spider-Man, the Spider-Man one that they have. Star Wars. I could keep going. I watched The Last Airbender.
The movie is awful.
Oh God, I went to go see that in theaters, thinking it was gonna be like, oh yeah, this is gonna be awesome and stuff. And hold on for a second, what is it? No, but I'm in the middle of an interview here, Cameron. Thanks, that was my little sister.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I tell everybody that I'm doing something.
They don't care.
Yeah, they're like, hey, can I do this or whatever, and they never be quiet. I don't know. My mom tries though, so I'll get out of here one day.
One day.
I don't know. I had recently. What was I talking about? Oh, recently I watched one of those riff tracks. So, I rewatched one, and it's just something that kind of seems like it's pretty still funny to me. I watched some of the old episodes too. Someone actually is taking the time to find the old episodes and put them up online on YouTube now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You should watch Hamlet. Is really good.
The black and white one, I think it was like German or Russian.
Yes, that was one of my favorite.
Yeah. Because it wasn't. I think the episode was like they have to guess something, and Mike ends up losing, and they have to watch like the worst film ever.
German Hamlet. Yeah,
Yes.
it's definitely German. Everyone was like blonde and Nordic looking. I feel like very tall.
Yeah, Thor would have worked out fine in that. Minus the hammer.
Thor as Hamlet.
Yes. Did you ever I did recently. I also watched I watch a lot of shit. I watched David Tennant and Patrick Stewart in Hamlet recently.
Really? Was David Tennant Hamlet?
Yeah.
That actually sounds really amazing.
It's Hamlet set in the modern day times.
Did they change the way they talked?
No, not at all.
Okay, so it's still Shakespearean language?
Yes. He's done... David Tennant is one of those actors that will do something Shakespearean and love it. You know? That's why I like him as an actor. That's why I didn't mind Fright Night.
Don't get me started.
Really? What's your issues with Fright Night?
I love the original so much, and I feel like they took everything that made the original amazing and ruined it.
Like what?
And they made David Tennant be that awful...
Roddy McDowell character.
It's awful. He wasn't anything like Roddy McDowell.
Not at all.
It was horrible. He was like that sleazy Chris Angel magician.
Which is what they were going for in that movie, he said.
It took me a while to even realize it was David Tennant. But when he had like the wig off and stuff, I was like, no, I can't watch this anymore.
It's like, is this an episode of Doctor Who?
The worst Doctor Who episode ever. Worse than an episode with Daleks and Cybermen.
Really? You didn't like the Dalek Cybermen episode?
I don't like Daleks. I don't like Cybermen.
Or is it more like they seem kind of cheesy now, or?
Yeah, I'm not a robot fan. They feel so... I know they're not technically robots, but they look like robots. They sound like robots. And I just prefer the episodes where he's traveling around time, or like meeting aliens. Like, I could do without robots. And they're not scary. How are Daleks the most frightening thing to him in the world? Look at them. They're giant garbage cans. I don't understand that.
Yeah. Giant garbage cans with plungers on it, they said.
Yes. That, like, never kill anyone, so why even be afraid of them?
I don't know. That last time that David Tennant took on the Daleks, they seemed to get a few people. It was basically... I think the Daleks are kind of like the stormtroopers.
They're supposed to be extinct, but they're everywhere.
I know.
They won't die.
Poor Doctor. He has to deal with them for the rest of his lives. I don't know. There's a whole thing. Like, how many Doctors have you seen? Have you just watched the new series?
Just the most recent 3.
Yeah. I watched a little bit of the old series when I was about a couple years back. It was the 5 Doctors, with like the first 5 Doctors minus the first Doctor. Minus the first Doctor because he had died at that point, and minus the 4th Doctor because I guess he didn't come back for filming. They just used archive footage for him. So it was really the 4 Doctors.
I want them to get all the surviving ones together.
Well,
Just have a crazy shenanigans episode.
I know, that'd be awesome. I wish you could go back in time, just pull people back from, like, those eras of, where they were filming, and just bring them all to the future just to film it.
I actually have a friend who wants them to create time travel just so they could make Doctor Who episodes where he crosses with himself. That is the sole reason she wants time travel to exist.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that'd be kind of awesome, but then you would probably freak out the people... Like in the 50s, they're like, that's like showing Transformers to somebody back in the 50s. They would freak out a little bit.
You're like your cell phone.
Yeah,
that wouldn't work.
Like, this is an iPhone. It's basically a big computer in my hand that's tiny.
No, that wouldn't work. I mean, like in theory, it's nice, but I don't think logistically it would actually, be a good idea.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if I go back in time, I have to deal with the whole civil rights thing and.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't go back in time.
Not
so far.
I don't know. I don't think my experience would be like Marty McFly's.
No.
But like, I know from I've stuck around with kind of this new series because it's a little more relatable. I do like Matt Smith.
Yes, I do like him too, and I like that they're getting a CGI budget where they can actually do stuff that doesn't look horrible.
Yeah, definitely. It's like if you look at those first few episodes with like Christopher Eccleston.
My friend had me watching the series, and like that first episode with the mannequins, I was like, why are you making me watch this? This is awful. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. Why does everyone love this show? It took a while.
I think it took a while for a lot of people.
It took till David Tennant showed up, I feel like, for me to start enjoying Doctor Who.
Well, the thing is, like, my friend Theo, I had got him into Doctor Who, and I'm like, you gotta check this out. And so I showed him, and he kind of, like, he liked Christopher Eccleston, but then when he regenerated to David Tennant, he was like, oh, who's this guy, or whatever. I like Eccleston better. He was one of those kind of guys. And then, of course, Tennant grew on him, and he was like, oh, David Tennant's the best. I was like, do you realize what you said about 2 years ago?
Does he say the same thing about Matt Smith now?
Oh, he hates the hell out of Matt Smith. And even now, I'm waiting for the change to happen. He still hasn't. And we're about 3 series in for Matt Smith, and still
not going good?
No, not at all.
He's so quirky and fun.
Yeah, he's like a combination of a few of the Doctors.
He's like a big, giant, I don't know.
Yeah. I have also started getting into like the audio dramas, but only for the 8th Doctor.
It's really random.
Yeah. It's really random and kind of, on point a little bit. And his is actually his run is actually pretty good. Paul McGann's run is actually pretty good. It's kind of a little bit heartbreaking because at some point he does run into his granddaughter again from the first series.
Aww.
And he runs into his great grandson, I want to say. What is it? Like great grandson. Or something like that. I mean, it's pretty good. It's a whole like Time Lord human family kind of thing or whatever.
Interesting.
A little bit. TV. Okay, is there any like TV shows, web shows that you're into?
Currently.
Well,
Fringe is coming back, so I'm really excited about Fringe. And Supernatural is coming back, which I'm extra excited for.
I've just started getting into that show.
It's so... Okay, so where are you? Season 1?
Season 1, episode probably 7 or 8. I don't know. The episode I just watched was... Well, the episode I'm watching right now is they finally go back to home to their house.
Okay. So Season 1 is, and I guess 2 are like super horror monster of the week type thing. And then as the series progresses, it becomes full-blown amazing shenanigans. Like there's an episode where they wind up on a show called Supernatural as actors named Jensen and Jared.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's like one where like movie villains show up. It's pretty crazy. Shenanigans.
Wow. I had that idea kind of for when Angel was back on.
Okay.
And it would be like season 5 Angel. He accidentally switches bodies, like from another dimension with David Boreanaz. So David Boreanaz has to be Angel.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah, so I thought I would have been like, oh, that would have been so cool because Angel would probably never want to come back because he's in the sun.
Mm-hmm. And, that'd be really rough.
Yeah, and of course, David Boreanaz would be trying to get back because he's like, this is not where I belong at all.
There's actually a season 7 episode of Supernatural where James Marsters and, who's the actress who plays Cordelia?
Charisma Carpenter.
Charisma Carpenter and James Marsters, who plays Spike, are married and they're both witches.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. No, I'm not kidding you. That's season 7.
Oh, okay. Now I need to catch up.
These shenanigans episodes are so good. Like, just work through the horror. Like, it's not awful, but it's not great. And you have to get to my favorite character, Castiel, who's like an angel, but he's hysterical.
The guy who's in like a suit or something and the trench coat?
Trench coat all the time.
Yeah.
Seeing him for Comic-Con, but as a girl. Gender bender.
Awesome.
Castiel.
Awesome. Pretty hot too. Yeah, Oh, let me let you continue listing down your stuff.
I feel like everything I love is ending. 30 Rock is ending this year, which I'm kind of sad about. Breaking Bad is ending.
Really?
Yeah, Breaking Bad has one season. So I'm sad about that. Dexter is on its second to last season. Weeds just ended. I have nothing. After this year, I'm gonna have nothing to watch on television.
That's what I thought when Buffy, Angel, Smallville, what else ended? Something ended last year besides Smallville. I forgot. But that's what I felt when those shows came on, because those were all I watched pretty much heavily. And I'm like, oh gosh, I got nothing to watch now. And the Smallville ending kind of pissed me off a little bit. Not really that much, because it was okay. But I was really looking forward to seeing him in the suit, not a CG version of him in the suit.
Well, I guess now there's Green Arrow coming out. That might be good.
I'm still waiting for that. When is that coming out? I keep getting the dates wrong.
I'm not sure. Actually, my cable company is arguing with CW11, so we don't have CW11. So in October, if they still haven't fixed their negotiation, I will not be able to watch Supernatural live.
Wow.
Which makes
sucks.
me really sad. And we won't be able to watch Green Arrow. I'll have to watch everything online.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with the online watching kind of stuff a little bit. Because eventually I'm going to buy the DVDs anyway.
So it doesn't matter.
I'm still paying for it. I just really want to see what's going on right now.
Just like seeing it live, I guess.
No. It's like I like doing that whole live Walking Dead chat thing.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah. And I wouldn't mind doing something like that again. But I don't know what that whole deal is with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be in charge of that.
No.
Obviously.
I'll just start my own Walking Dead thing. Where
just do it yourself.
I might do that. I might actually considering doing something kind of chat-wise with that.
I mean, because that was fun for the finale, but I don't think anyone else is going to be doing it, so that leaves a space open.
Yeah, a lot of the girls on there were pissed about Shane.
Well, they loved him.
Yeah.
They're very sad that they won't be able to look at him anymore. They should be glad he made it through a second season.
Yeah, but technically he'll be back because, flashbacks and shit.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
And then everybody was pissed about Carl.
Yeah. He's much cooler in the comics.
Yeah. I mean, comic book wise for The Walking Dead, I've only gotten up to, and I had promised myself I'd try to finish it, but I only got up to like halfway when Rick got like somehow like mortally like injured or something like that in the prison.
Okay. So he didn't even make it past the prison?
No, because I mean, it's just like they're still poking like zombies with like knives and shit or something like that.
So have you met the governor yet?
Not yet, but I heard who's playing.
He is the best arc in that whole series. Like, they have yet to top him.
Yeah, there's a book out, I think, that just focuses on him.
I read it.
Is it crap?
It was crap. Robert Kirkman, or the guy who helped him write it, Jay Bonansinga, I don't know if that's correct pronunciation, really like metaphors and similes. And there's like 3 per page, and it really bothered me. I couldn't get past it.
But I do like the fact that they're gonna have what's his name, David Morrissey.
Okay.
Play the governor in that, because I like him acting wise, and I like the fact that he because I watched him in the miniseries, the BBC miniseries musical Blackpool, I want to say it's called, and he was actually pretty good in it. It had David Tennant in there too as like a cop or detective. So.
Oh, David Tennant.
Yeah, David Tennant seems to just revolve. I'm just waiting for him to come back to be like, I'm regenerating.
I'm myself again. I'm the 12th Doctor and the 10th Doctor. Which
would be kind of like, a lot of people will probably be like, I'm happy about that, but didn't we really see? No. There is definitely a lightheartedness to Matt Smith when it comes to the Doctor, because I know Christopher Eccleston's Doctor was kind of dark.
Yeah.
But David Tennant, when he got really pissed.
Or sad. There were so many sad episodes where I was like crying with David Tennant. That one where he thought he was a human. The doctor thought he was human. He was the school teacher.
Yeah.
That was
sad. That was so sad. And it's like, because you want this John Smith to live on.
Mm-hmm.
But it was nice that the doctor did let John Smith and what's her name, that woman,
the lady, his love interest.
yeah, have like kind of like a flash forward life together.
Yeah, that was cute. It was still really bittersweet sad.
Yeah, and he did offer her a trip into the TARDIS. She could have took it.
You never turn the doctor down when he offers you a trip in the TARDIS. I don't care what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, when a blue police box shows up, you go inside of it.
Start knocking at the door.
Excuse me.
If I ever go to London and I see a police box there, and I'm just gonna start knocking. No.
And hope someone answers, and then it's bigger on the inside.
Yeah, and it just turns out to probably be some bum there, and
leave me alone.
He's like, hey, you're not gonna come get it, and start throwing cats at me. Yeah, that would be awesome. I don't know. I've never really been outside the country before.
Really? You should go to Paris. They have the best food.
Now you just there's my keyword there, food.
My mom took me to England and Paris instead of having a 16th birthday party. And I didn't eat one bad meal the entire time we were in Paris. Like, even a cheeseburger and fries was the most delicious cheeseburger and fries ever.
Wow.
The food was amazing.
Yeah. Want to know what I did for my 16th birthday?
Is it going to be really sad?
I went to a movie and came home. That's it. By myself.
Was it a good movie?
I don't remember.
I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember. No, I don't remember at all. And I know, I mean, most of my years are like that for my birthdays or whatever, but I mean, except last year. Last year I got really drunk and I ended up pissing off my friend's roommates, my friend Thomas's roommate, Jess, because I slept on her couch and I ended up barfing all over the place. Not even 5 seconds after we got all into the house.
Smooth.
Yeah. And she didn't really like me to start with anyway.
So that just really endeared her to you. To her.
Yeah, and I remember being really drunk and just being like, oh god, Jess is gonna be so pissed. She's gonna be so pissed. But then she comes out of her room and I have this like, oh shit moment. Like I just got caught masturbating or something. And she just goes like, she's like, okay, I'm not pissed, but you're gonna have to pay for the dry cleaning. And I'm like, fuck, I have no money. I need money.
Did you pay for it?
No, I threw that shit into the washing machine and it came clean.
Okay.
So, I mean, and Thomas, my friend Thomas, who I do this show with,
mm-hmm.
he helped me out or whatever. You know, it was probably about like, it was basically like me knocking on my parents' door and be like, I don't feel so good.
Please help me. I had an accident.
And I just remember that I had to sleep under Thomas has his bed level, like basically towards the ceiling because he sleeps like really well. He used to, but I had
vampire bat
a little bit. He's like Johnny Depp in Dark Shadows.
Okay.
And I had to sleep under that whole thing. But I remember waking up morning, looking at my pants and be like, fuck. So I had to walk around the house with my coat tied around me and just my underwear because I knew Jess was still there. And I'm pretty sure she doesn't want to see me in my underwear. And I had to throw my pants in there. I had to throw all the cushions and stuff that didn't get washed in there. And, I tried to clean up a little bit just to kind of, make the situation a little bit easier.
Tell me more about your tragic backstory.
This became a podcast about me. Well, there's gamma radiation, and I turn big and green every time I get pissed.
Okay.
I found out the CDC is not the place to be in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Which is actually a funny story. My mom and I were driving. She was driving me to, I think, one of those, like, survey things where you get paid.
Okay.
And they were I saw that shoot where they were filming The Walking Dead.
Oh, that's cool.
I was like, holy shit! But I also got to meet about like 2 weeks ago one of the guys who built sets for them over there on The Walking Dead. So that was actually pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
One of the bonuses of living in Atlanta.
I guess. I'm just hoping I don't run into the Teen Wolf people down here at all, because I have some issues with that show.
The current Teen Wolf?
Yeah.
I don't want to ever watch that.
No, it's just I just know that the end of the series they're not gonna have the guy who pulled his wang out at the end of the movie. Okay, so you've never actually heard of a podcast until quite recently, have you? I mean, you've heard of it, but you never really listened to it.
I've never listened to them.
What was stopping you?
Reading. All my free time is reading and writing. Listening is like an extra thing I'd have to do. And then what do you do while you're listening?
Well, that's the thing. You could read or write while you're doing it.
No, because then I'd be distracted and I would miss 95% of the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of started... Well, for me, my friends think I'm weird, but I'll usually, like, read and listen to a podcast at the same time, or read and listen to an audiobook at the same time.
What?
Yeah.
Full reading?
Yes.
I don't know how you can do that.
Oh, I have very good listening skills, and I have what I like to call the director's eye.
Okay. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Ever.
But I can't walk right either, so, I mean, I pretty much trip over myself half the time.
I spill things all the time, if it makes you feel better.
Yeah. Oh, I had an ex-girlfriend who would walk into doors all the time, and I thought it'd be hilarious the whole time.
It wasn't?
No, and I mean, it was, but it's just like, to a certain point, I was like, are you okay? Are you still there? It was funny at the time. I don't know. I mean, that's probably why we're not still together, because that, and because I kept calling her Amanda, because her name was Mandy, but a lot of people call Amanda.
Her name was Susan.
Yeah.
I kept calling her Amanda. I don't know why she broke up with me.
I don't know. And so, I mean, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was a whole thing. Me and relationships sometimes don't work out. That's how the thing. That's how life goes.
Yep, they can't all work out.
Is there anything that you want to try to plug real quick?
I guess just our book blog again, bibliomantics.com. We just started doing comic book reviews 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So I do those every Wednesday. Whatever I'm reading. And then on Saturdays, we started this thing called Around the Interwebs. And it's just funny videos and pictures and product links and news we find literary related. So we had like Sherlock meets Steve from Blue's Clues. We had like a video of that. And we had like Deathly Hallows cookie cutters and stuff.
Awesome.
So that.
And why don't you let the people know where they can also find you too?
You can find me on Twitter. I'm under Yerkmonger, YRCHMONGER. Yerk is orc in Elvish. I picked it in high school. Please don't judge me.
I'm judging you very hard right now.
Please don't judge me. And I actually also do some freelance work for this website, Pop Crush. If you like the show Glee, I recap them. And I recently started writing for Quirk Books, who's this amazing publisher. They used to do all the mashups, like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies and stuff. So I started writing blog posts for them.
Pretty sweet.
Those are my 3 places you can find me.
Alright, well, I think we're at a good time, unless you want to talk some more.
No, I don't think I have anything to add.
But,
useful to add.
Well, I'm glad you came on the podcast, because
Thank you for having me.
for a very long time I wanted to actually talk to you on here. I was like, I'm trying to get some guests together. Why don't I get her to be one of my guests on here? You know, and I think I put you on I'm pretty sure I put you on my my list that I have up on my blog now.
Of people to kill?
No, the people to put on the podcast.
Okay.
People to kill, that's a whole different list.
What else do you make lists of people for?
Um, you don't want to know. I can't put you on one of those lists.
Okay.
No, I mean, I started making lists, like own personal lists of different things. Like I have a list of Kevin Smith stuff I'm really into, which is basically like everything he's done for some
That's
reason.
not a list of people.
I know that. But he's on my list of people to podcast with one day.
Okay.
One of these days. Hopefully in sometime in the near future. I don't know. I don't know if you've heard of this guy Christopher Downey.
No, I don't think so.
He did a fan made film for one of the Kevin Smith's podcasts called Babylon Begins.
Okay.
Which is actually pretty good. It's like a 2-episode web series. So like a mini web series.
Super mini series?
Yeah. And I got to know him a little better. Like I do another podcast with him called Chasing Greedo.
Okay.
And he's working on a film called Get Greedo right now, which is based off of Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith's story together.
Okay.
Back in Jason Mewes' like drug days.
Oh yeah.
And he started his own little podcast now. I got him into the whole podcasting thing now because at first he didn't want to do it. And second, like I was like, it should be a good idea or whatever. Like I came up with the Chasing Greedo name one day when I was cleaning the bathroom. I was like, it was basically like my Doc Brown moment.
You hit your head on the toilet.
And I was like, great Scott.
Podcast.
And I was like, damn it, why couldn't I think of time travel? And then we could have the Doctor Who crossover series.
Mm-hmm.
And then like now he has a podcast that he does called For the Love of Smod, For the Love of Smod Pod.
Okay.
And he's got really some good guests on there. He's had Brian O'Halloran from Clerks on there.
Okay, I like him.
Yeah, he actually gave me a shout out.
Oh yeah.
On there, which was actually pretty good. So I have that little that one piece clip of him giving me a shout out saying I'm not even supposed to be here today.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, let me stop rambling. But again, thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And for the Evil Teddy Bear podcast, this has been Corey. I don't have a sign off or anything, so bye, I guess.
Nanu.
Nano. No, I'll tell you after I stop this.